make sure. Okay, so for everyone that is watching live, just very quickly, if you're new to the group, because I know there's probably been about 100 people joined in the last kind of couple of weeks. So if you're new to the group, my name's Adam. I'm the owner and founder of ARC. And every single Monday in this group, I'm going to be doing a live stream. So this Monday is going to be a client success story. So we're going to be talking to Sam, who you're going to meet in a minute, who is absolutely amazing. She's got an incredible story to kind of share with you. Her journey has been unbelievable. She's going to be a real inspiration, I think, to a lot of you that are watching. So tonight is going to be a client success story. Next week, I'm going to do a Q&A. So you're literally going to be able to jump on, ask me any questions you like about a particular topic. And then we do different live streams every Monday. So Monday, 8 o'clock, this is the place to be. But tonight, so I'm really excited to share with you Sam and her story. She's basically lost the equivalent of 24% of her body weight, which is unbelievable. Like, she might as well have cut off her leg when she first started. And she's lost 47 pounds. And it's about, we're just talking there, just very quickly, in about 9 months. So for those of you that think, I've got a lot to lose, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds or more, hopefully this will serve as some real inspiration. And we're going to kind of talk about that tonight and her journey. And I think one thing that we'll get to is her situation and how it hasn't been, like, obviously she's done it during the pandemic, and how it hasn't been easy, but she still managed to achieve it. So again, I really hope this serves as inspiration for a lot of you. So the way it's going to go, we're going to have a chat with Sam. We're going to ask her some questions. She's going to do most of the talking after I shut up. And then we're going to have an opportunity for anyone who's watching live to basically ask questions, ask away, ask whatever you like of Sam. And then that will be it. So if you're excited, let me know. Just comment now below. Just say excited, or comment Sam, comment something, say hello. Let us know if you're really excited for tonight and finding out about Sam's journey. Right, I'm going to stop rabbiting on, and I'm going to start with Sam. So, Sam, do you want to just start by introducing yourself to everyone? Tell us who you are, where you're from, a little bit about
you. Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Sam. I'm 43 years old. I'm mum to 2 girls, Poppy and Scarlett, who are 10 and 7 next week. I have quite a high intensive job. I'm head of procurement for a catering company. And I decided to start my journey thinking about it probably this time last year. I saw a picture on Facebook, a memory, and I didn't like it at all. And I sort of stumbled over Adam by accident, actually, on Facebook. And I joined one of his 5-day challenges. So that's how I started. For me, my trigger was a picture on Facebook. No one likes that memory. And I pretty much battled all my adult life with my weight. So yeah, it was just, the picture was the catalyst for me. I was sick of seeing them.
So when you say you battled all your adult life, Sam, how many years is that in total, essentially, that you're talking about?
So when I was at uni, I was never like what I would call super slim. I was probably like size 12, sometimes verging on a 14. And then in my final year at university, I used to play tennis. I used to be really active and play a lot of tennis. And then I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And they said I couldn't play competitive tennis anymore. So that was it. In my eyes, if I can't do it properly, I don't want to do it at all. So I stopped playing tennis, and I was in my final year at uni, and I ate. I mean, everything. And my weight just ballooned. And there's pictures of me, and my face is just, I can't even describe it. I can't even look at it now, because actually I just feel really sad at looking at those pictures. And then so that was in like my early 20s, and then all through my adult life, I did Weight Watchers before my wedding, and I lost some weight, but I never stayed to the meetings because they just used to make me laugh, because they'd say things like, you shouldn't eat cream cakes. And I was like, oh, you think? I mean, but they never talked about any nutritional value. It was all about points and you know, don't eat this because it's points, or have a gin and slimline because of the points. But I never really understood about it. And I probably lost about, I don't know, a stone on it. Got married, pictures look great. Went on honeymoon, ate and drank whatever I liked, and probably in about 3 months, all the weight went back on. I've also tried Slimming World. Oh my God. I mean, I can't tell you where I'm from in case someone ever watches this, but the woman that ran it almost like fat shame you. That's the only way I can describe it. So if you put on weight, you were put in a different group to everybody else. And she would basically go, well, why do you think you've put on weight? What have you done wrong this week? What have you eaten? And it would be like, food was sin. So you could like eat as much salmon or as you like, but then bananas were considered sins. And it was all really odd. And I just came away in thinking, I'm quite an intelligent person, and I think I always knew at the bottom of my deep down inside that I needed to move more, eat less, and eat differently, but I could never quite get my head around doing it. And I work in food, so I'm around it all the time. We feed school kids with highly nutritious food, so I know about it, but it wasn't almost enough for me to trigger to say, okay, enough. And I think when I saw this picture, and I was sitting, it was with a group of friends, and I looked at it, and funnily enough, it popped up quite recently on my Facebook feed, and I just was like, nah, I can't carry on like this. And I just looked bloated. There was no other way. My arms looked bloated, my face looked bloated. And I was just like, I can't carry on like this. This is, I've got 2 young girls. I want to look nice on holiday. I'd never let anyone take any pictures of me. It would always be shoulders up. My best friend is just like, can I post this picture? And I'll be like, absolutely not. I'm in like a swimsuit. Absolutely no way. And so she'd have to crop it all, and it would just be like us in the top half and things. And I just thought, that's not a way to live anymore. And I was also getting further in my career as well. And I was starting to stand up and present to a lot of people. And they use those pictures for social media. So I was on like LinkedIn and our corporate sites. And I was like, that's not good. This is not good look. There's a picture of me at an awards thing, and I had this roll of fat, and this picture still keeps coming out, and I hate it. And I've asked them to stop using it, but you see that and you just think enough is enough, and I've got to do something about it. So yeah, so that's why I got in touch with you.
Awesome. You've like great introduction there, Sam. Like I had like some questions I was going to ask. Pretty much, I think you were pretty much like reading my mind. Oh, by the way, and if I keep looking down, it's just because I'm looking at the comments to see what people are saying, and there's quite a few people popped on. There's like about 11 people, like Anita saying can't wait. So there's some people really excited. So for those that are watching, so even if you're watching on replay, and I would say that for those that watch on replay, and I know there's quite a few of you that are going to watch this tomorrow, it's really important that you engage with it. Like, don't just mindlessly watch this, have this on in the background. Like, if you actually want to take stuff away from this, like really engage with it. So I'm going to ask some questions throughout. So for example, the first question I want to ask, so there's quite a few of you watching. Have any of you experienced what Sam has said about the diet clubs, about that fat shaming, that kind of, you must have done this if you haven't lost weight. If you've had that negative experience with diet clubs, just comment in the comments below to say diet club, so I can see who has got those kind of shared experiences that Sam had. So Sam, what you're saying is you've done diet clubs. Is there anything else that you've kind of done over the years?
Oh yeah. So just, God, it's like, this is like the worst confessional, isn't it? The confessionals of someone. I also did Slim Fast. So before my 40th, and mainly it was because, I'll be honest, I just couldn't be asked to do anything else. So Slim Fast was quick. I just had like make a shake, and then I'd be gone, and I'd have one proper meal, and it was great. I like lost another stone. I looked really great for my 40th. The pictures looked really great, and then lo and behold, Christmas came, boom, and I went back to eating normally. And it all just went on because basically I starved myself. and I had one meal a day, and I think it was something like 500 calories, and I was eating these shakes and these ridiculous bars that actually now in retrospect tasted bloody disgusting, but it cost a fortune. But I was like, oh yeah, no, this would be quick, it will be. And that was the thing, it was like, I'm not very good at waiting. Everything for me, you asked my husband, and I was just laughing to Adam that I decided to decorate our bedroom, and in my head it should take like 2 days. We're 3 weeks in and we're not finished, and I'm like, come on, let's. And that was like, for me, Slim Fast was that attraction. It hit something straight away for a moment in time, but it taught me nothing, cost me a fortune, and actually made me feel quite ill most days. Yeah, so that was probably the worst one I did. What else did I do? Oh yeah, I once did something called the Scarsdale diet when I was at university.
I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, I'll send. Oh, that was like a weird thing. I've looked at other things like the blood type diet. Oh god, you name it. I think I've done Atkins, whatever fad was in at the time. But because it is a moment in time, you could do it for 3 weeks, and the things I've learned with ARC is why you lose that weight in the first 3 weeks. It's got nothing to do with what you're eating. It's all about your mindset and changing. And that's the thing that you think 3 weeks in, oh brilliant, I've got this. But it isn't about the 3 weeks. It's about 3 weeks, 3 months, you know, the next year and everything. And it is about changing it's up here. That's the biggest thing.
So with everything you tried, Sam, was a stone or around about a stone the most you'd ever lost before?
Yeah, about a stone would be the most I ever lost.
And every time it came back on?
Every single time. And in fact, it didn't just come back on, it came back on and then some.
Oh,
okay. A little person.
Hello. Oh, it's not nice to have the daughter on.
Yeah. Okay, one up.
So one thing you mentioned there was the cost. So if you were to kind of add up like everything, like the diet clubs, the shake diets, like everything you've done, like over, it's been about 20 years. Yeah. Like what would you say, the financial cost, not just, the cost of everything else, like the emotional cost?
So those are like their handbag. I could probably have bought myself a Chanel quilted handbag for the amount of money I've spent. So yeah, literally. And I love handbags, so it's actually quite annoying now to like equate it. Yeah, thousands. Because you don't think about, you might, so you take something like Slim Fast, you would add it onto your food shopping. So if you're food shopping for the kids and stuff, you'd add it on. So you would never isolate that cost as its own. And when you go to things like Slimming World, it's like £8 a go, and then it's that. And it's the same for Weight Watchers. There's all different ways of they get you in. Oh God, yeah, thousands. It's just, but it's not just the thousands on the diet clubs. The thousands on the clothes, because you would then buy a smaller size pair of jeans, you might have lost your stone, and if you've been very cavalier, you'd throw everything else out, and then you'd put the weight back on, and then have to buy a pair of jeans in the higher size. So it's not just always about the food, it's that impact as well as like with clothes. And yeah, I used to always throw the bigger size out because I was almost too ashamed to have it, and then you'd put the smaller pair of jeans on, and to the point where you'd like got welts because they're so tight, you didn't want to admit that you're going to have to go back up, and then you do. Oh God, yeah, thousands of pounds.
It's funny you mentioned about the shopping bill. So like personal story. So me and my wife, when the first kind of lockdown happened, there seemed to be a lot more kind of snacks creeping in. There was definitely, like I experience it just like anyone else, and same as my wife, like a bit of comfort and emotional eating. And then as soon as we kind of both recognized that and started to slowly make changes, I think we then like our shopping bill went up like massively, significantly. And then just by, making some small changes, that actually, we both started losing weight again. It's actually saving us more than £30 a week, like off of our shopping bill.
Yeah, I can believe. Mine was alcohol. I was spending a lot on alcohol, and I'm not like I'm an alcoholic, but I'd be like spending £10 on a bottle of wine, and I might have put 3 in the trolley. Yeah, and it's the same. It's yeah.
So the kind of next thing we want to get into, and hopefully this is where there might be some people that are watching, maybe thinking about working with us, not sure, kind of making that step. Like what convince? In fact, actually, before I go into that, if you are watching and anything we're saying, like if it resonates with you, like so if you're watching at home and you're thinking, wow, like this sounds exactly like me. I've spent 20 years and I've spent, X amount and X, this, that, and the other. Just put me in the comments. So, I can see who kind of is resonating with Sam's story and where she's at. Now, Sam, from your point of view, like obviously you said you saw an ad, you just kind of stumbled across us. You did the 5-day challenge, but then you took the next step after that. What was it
Yeah.
that kind of made you think, right, I want to work with? Well, it's with me at the time.
Yeah, it
I want
was.
to work with Adam. What made you kind of consider that or make that step?
So for me, ironically, the 5-day challenge was completely anonymous, as in you could engage in the group or not engage in the group. But no one really knew who you were. So it wasn't like you're going to bump into someone you know at a diet club or anything. And it was like all about you. But the thing that made me do the next bit, which was have that one-to-one call, was that the support and the community around that 5 days was what made the difference for me. So the example everyone uses is that everyone's in the same, everyone's on the same boat, but they're all going in different directions. I cannot tell you that enough. It's like we're all on the same journey, but it's our journey and it's unique to us. And for me, having the conversation with you, it wasn't like, well, you're the same as everyone else. You listened. It was about the fact that you specialised in women that were of a certain age, that were working, so that you could relate to it. So if I ever said to you, I've had a really bad week, and I had a lot of them last year, I was making people redundant and things, and it was really stressful. I don't think I've ever put on the form that I've had less than 1 as my stress. I think I've always been consistently highly stressed. And it was recognizing that there was someone there that got that, and you weren't just another number, and you weren't just another, here's my £8, my £5, whatever it is every month, and tick you off the list and you weigh in. It wasn't about that. It was about the fact that you were going to get as much commitment from you guys at ARC and as much as I was prepared to put in. And I think that's the big thing, is that it was about having to make that decision that I was going to commit to it. And that was probably the biggest thing, that and getting the commitment back from you guys, because once you take that step and you join, I think it's called the VIP group or whatever it's called, the support is the single most important thing for me. The support and the encouragement and the motivation, and the fact that everyone celebrates success. And even when you've had a bad day, and crikey, I've posted a few times and said, I've had a really bad week, I've put weight on. You guys would come on and go, where are you in your month? Was it this? Was it that? And there, it isn't that just I've eaten 10 cream cakes and that's why, and naughty Sam, you shouldn't have done that. And that's what it was more about exploring why you did it in the first place. It makes it sound like it's some hippie community. Seriously, it isn't. But it's a really safe space. And I think when you're taking this journey, the biggest thing is that having to say, I need help. And everyone's journey is different, but you guys tailor it to each individual person. So there'll always be things that we all do the same, but everyone's journey is different. And you get that, when we've had our one-to-one calls, you would say, ask me why. You wouldn't berate me. You wouldn't say, well, why have you done that? You'd say, why do you think you've done that? And how, what can we do to help you? What do you need from us? And that, you never get that at diet clubs. They don't care. I hate to say it, they really don't care. They've got a target, how many people they can sign up. That's it. They don't really genuinely care. And the difference on this is that you are part of a community, and there are people all over the country. I think outside the country as well.
Yeah,
are
we've
doing
got
this.
Jill, who's recently joined. She's living in Norway. Patty from America. Even before you ladies, so before you ladies, I used to work with. I had clients in Sweden, Cambodia, Hong Kong, Thailand. So, like, yeah, they're from all over. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I love now we got coaches as well that are all over the UK. So yeah, that is cool. I think what you've just said, Sam, there's so much there that like I could really dig into and um, kind of pick apart. But one thing I really want to highlight to people, because there's gonna be so many people, especially right now, that will probably say, "Oh my God, like yes, sounds great, but you know, there's so much going on. Like life is mental. I'm up to my ears. Like, tell everyone how your life was last year. Like, just
Uh,
explain like
okay,
how
so
mental it was.
I think I joined, I think 4 to 6 weeks before
Yeah,
before COVID started. And suddenly, within my sector, we do education and healthcare and all of that. But overnight, our business went from £500 million to 30 million. So it completely crashed overnight. Pretty much all my team got furloughed. So I had a team of 22. They all got, I think there were 5 of us left. And I was like, why have I started doing this in the middle of a pandemic when everyone else was drinking and getting like drinking gin and tonics and sitting in the garden? I was still upstairs on my laptop working, kind of thing. I had the kids at home, so I was trying to homeschool. I was pulling like, I don't know, 14, 15-hour days. And I was doing this, and it actually was probably, for me, because the way I am, it was probably the best thing I could do, because it stopped me going out and to the pub all the time or going out for dinner and all of this, and it gave me some structure, and I was very organized, and I had to be organized because I had the kids here. They were running havoc. There was pretty much no homeschooling getting done, but I had a lot of stress. I mean, you couldn't imagine. And halfway through it, my boss got made redundant, so we had to go through doing loads of redundancies. I changed loads of things in our business. Yeah, God, it was just, and everyone's story with COVID will be similar, different, the same, you know, whether you work in healthcare, whatever. And it was more about the fact that I was trying to make this major life-changing choice and change the way I was behaving and eating and drinking and going through all of that at the same time. People would be like, you're mental. Why are you doing it now? Why are you putting yourself under the pressure? That's what I kept being told. Why are you putting yourself under the pressure? And I was like, well, if I can't do it now, I'm never going to be able to do it. And there's never a good time. It's a bit like when people say to you about having a baby, there's never a good time to have a baby. You never have enough money. You haven't done all the things you want to do in your life. Adam's laughing because he's got a little baby.
he's only just slept all the way through the night.
But you got to make that decision for you, not for anyone else. And that was the biggest thing for me. This wasn't about my kids. It wasn't about my husband. It wasn't about my family. This was something I had to do for myself. And I was only accountable to myself. And that's the biggest thing on all of this. I think you have to be in the right mindset to make the change. You really have to want to do it, and you have to be committed to it. And we know that there's been people on the group that have paused for a couple of weeks because things have been not going great, and then they've come back, and that's fine. But I think you have to be ready to do it, and you have to be ready for yourself to say, it's my turn now. It's my turn to put myself first. And when I say that, I don't mean like I was cooking anything special, you know, and the kids weren't eating it. Everything I had, the kids ate. We bought a pizza oven during lockdown. So we have pizza every Saturday. I make it myself. I make the dough myself, so I know what goes in it. I make the pizza sauce, so I know what goes in it. But that's just part of who I am, you know. I drink. I often at the weekends will drink wine. Had Sunday roast yesterday with plenty of roast potatoes and Yorkshire pudding. So there's nothing like, I haven't ever denied myself anything. It's just that I chose to eat differently. And I don't mean like this is some complicated thing. I just made the right choices. at meal times. And I think you always used to say to us, it's like credit and debit. And as long as, you know, the week pans out and you're more debit than credit, then you'll be okay. And that's probably the biggest mindset, is Monday to Friday, I'm really good, like really good, really quite strict on myself because I choose to be, so that at the weekend I can have a pizza, I have a couple of glasses of wine, but I don't restrict myself. If I want a glass of wine on Monday, I'll have a glass of wine. The only fact that I'll be wrecked for Tuesday is the reason to stop doing it. But I think the point is you're in control of it. You've got to understand what, you know, what you're doing and what you're putting on your plate is probably the most important thing.
I think that's really, really important what you said there, Sam. Like, and this is the other thing I think for people watching need to understand. If like you do decide you want to have that conversation with me, and you know this potentially a route you want to go, I think like we don't talk with everyone about working together. For me, the most important thing is that level of self-commitment. If you're half-hearted, if you really actually, you know, you're not going to commit to it, then you know, all the women you see, like Sam's not the only one who's lost more than 40 pounds. We've got Sarah's lost 45, Diane's lost 41, Sue, who's worked with me before, has lost 70. Like there are lots and lots of women who are losing this kind of weight, but these women haven't just gone, oh yeah, I'll give it a go. Like they've gone, I need to do this, I'm going to commit to this. And they've like really like done it. And as Sam says, it's not like some complicated thing. There's no like, and as you probably see from all of my content, you don't have to cut anything out of your diet, but we show you how to make sure you include it in a way that gets you results. And in fact, like this is the kind of bit, in fact, if you're watching live, if you want to hear about all of the wins, the results that Sam's had over the last 9 months, just comment results below. Because I'm going to ask Sam to share, like, obviously you've seen now she's lost 47 pounds, which is 24%, nearly a quarter of her original starting weight. Like it's the equivalent of chopping off her leg, like since she started 9 months ago. But I'm sure Sam's going to explain in a minute, the wins aren't just confined to the weight. And I think like this is the important thing. So there we go. Anita's commenting now. So Sam, can you share with people like all the other kind of successes and wins that you've kind of got from this?
So when Adam and I first talked on our, like it was an interview. He basically was interviewing me. I was committed to doing it. And do you know what? I'm really glad he did, because I think without that wouldn't have been the trigger for me to think about, you know, all these things that we talked about. But on it, when I wrote a list and Adam would say like, what things are, you know, what are you not happy about? And I was like, I have really bad skin. I can't sleep very well. I'm not good at managing my stress. You know, not only that I look rubbish in a swimsuit, that was just one thing. There were so many more other things on top of that. And so for me, the results have been things like, oh my God, I sleep so well. I drink a lot of water, and that has been probably the thing that from the day one right up until now, you see me with my water bottle, I drink loads and loads of water. My skin's really good. That's a big thing for me. So because I do about 10 Zoom calls a day, you know, your appearance is really good. But it's not just about the scale weight, it's about your measurements. And we always laugh about this because you might put a pound on, but you can lose a centimetre. It's so weird, but just go with me about this, because as part of this, Adam will explain why. And I suddenly was like throwing jeans out. I think I once posted a picture of my bras and where I'd been and where I'd come to, and it was just crazy when I looked back at it and go, oh my God, I lost I've gone down in all my clothes. The big highlight just before Christmas was I got into a size 10 pair of jeans. I never thought I'd get into a size 10. So that was like massive for me. But my confidence in the way I am, on holiday, I'd let my husband take a full length picture of me. So the picture I think that Adam posted today is the first time that I'd ever let, you know, since I was in my 20s, let someone take a full length picture because I felt confident to. Or a white bikini, I mean, white with kids and a bikini on holiday last year, because I felt really super comfortable. So it isn't just about the scale weight. All my measurements have shrunk. People now, like, if I see my friends, they're like, God, you're like so skinny now. And I'm like, I know, I am, aren't I? But it has given me that confidence that I can get at, you know, I'm much more comfortable in my own skin. I didn't think I'd ever say that. And, you know, I'm really happy about the way I look, and how I feel. And I'm, you know, confident when I go out that I know I look nice because I feel trim, I feel slim, and it just makes you, it has a real spring in the step. And I think the best bit is when everyone asks me, you know, how do you feel about it? And when you talk about, you know, 47 pounds, I feel a little bit sick because I think, did I really let it get that bad? Did I really let it get that bad? But the best bit is I've been maintaining for, I don't know, a couple of months now. And that's the thing. So that's the testament.
October now, right?
Yeah, no. So I got through Christmas, no issues whatsoever. I think everyone had a bit of a panic over Christmas. It was quite funny because if you've seen the Facebook, everyone's going, oh, £4, like this. And then Adam went, yeah, that's because you've done nothing for 4 days and probably eaten and drunk more than you normally would do. Give it a week and everyone's like, I've lost £4. In fact, I've lost 5, I've lost 6, because you just go back to, you know, what you do normally. But yeah, it isn't just about the scales, and that is what Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Slim Fast, they never tell you. They never talk to you about everything else, and they certainly would never tell you to buy a tape measure and measure yourself every week, because you see your measurements go down as well, and that's a really good thing for you to be able to see. So, you know, sometimes your scale weight might stay the same, but your measurements have gone down. And that's probably the biggest mindset change that you have when you do this, is that actually you are losing. It's not just about the scales.
First of all, like, before we're going to get into questions in a minute, but just very quickly before we get into like people's questions. So this will give anyone who's watching, so I can see there's still quite a few people watching. So if you've watched this tonight, if there's questions you have about what the work we've done with Sam, about her journey, her experiences, like her experiences in the past compared to now, like whatever they are, like you're going to get, you know, an opportunity, 5-10 minutes to ask away, and we'll kind of go through those. But before I get to those, if you're kind of watching this and you're thinking like, wow, like that's incredible. So Sam's like got a pizza oven, eats pizza. She's gone through Christmas. She's had a holiday. She has wine or Prosecco or champagne most weekends. She's achieved incredible results, not just around her weight loss in terms of like dropping dress sizes, in terms of her sleep, in terms of her skin. Like if you're watching this and you're thinking, do you know what? Actually, like, I think I'm ready to have that conversation now. And remember, like Sam's been through probably one of the most stressful times, having a homeschool, a highly demanding job, working 40, 15 hours. If you're ready to have that conversation, just comment below, say me next. Okay, so just put me next in the comments, and tomorrow I'll go through all the comments, and I'll see who's put that, and then I'll send you a private message. And we can see whether having that next conversation is the right thing. Now, there's no guarantee that we will go to that next step. There's no guarantee that we'll work together. But if you've watched tonight and Sam's an inspiration to you and you think, do you know what, I need to do this. Like I've got 20, 30, 40, whatever it is. You've got weight to lose. You want to improve your health, your quality of life, your energy levels, whatever it is. Then just comment me next in the comments now. And tomorrow, or even if you're watching on replay, if you're watching this and you get to this point and you go, do you know what? I need to do something. Like, I can't keep putting this off. I can't keep making excuses. And as I said, I'll message you. We can have a conversation and we can see whether it's the right thing for you or not. And again, there's no guarantee, and certainly there's no kind of pushiness there at all. We only want to work with people that want to work with us, that are ready to commit, and you know, that it's the right fit for them. So I'm going to see if we've got any questions. If there's not, we might be finished early, Sam. So you might be free to go after the girls. So let me just scroll back through and see if there's any from earlier. Here we go. So Anita, right at the start, asked, Sam, what was the first change that you made? So I can't remember. It was about 9 months ago. Do you remember what the very first thing was that you changed?
Yeah, I ate a proper breakfast, and it sounds absolutely crazy. But I used to, I mean, this is pre-lockdown. I used to get on the train, stop at Starbucks next to my office, and either pick up like a fruit toast and like fruit smoothie, or a porridge and I don't know, whatever some fruit thingy was. And then at lunch, I would have like a pesto and mozzarella sandwich, and then I can't even remember what. Yeah, so breakfast was my big thing that I changed. And what I actually changed it to is something so simple. I started eating protein yogurts, and they, like a year ago, they weren't really big. This right now, you can get them anywhere, and they had like 20 grams of protein in them. And now I would have it with a scoop of protein powder and some almond milk, and I'll do it as a shake. So I used to drink it on the train, or drink it when I was commuting to my office. So yeah, that was my big thing, was breakfast, because I never got it right, and then I'd just snack and graze and mess about all day.
I think that's the key as well for anyone watching that's thinking, oh, okay, I just need to have breakfast, and I need to have a protein yogurt for breakfast. It's really, really important for you to understand.
A little bit more complicated than that.
Yeah, like a protein yogurt it's not like a miracle fat loss food. There's not like it's going to make you lose weight. But the important thing to notice is the relationship between Sam doing that, making that change, and how that impacted her eating habits for the rest of the day. And there are women that we work with that don't have breakfast. This isn't a one size fits all approach, and it's very, very dependent on you. So like, obviously Sam commuted, like there was a long commute, like the way her work was, like it's very, very important to bear in mind. So like, I know Anita said, oh, what was the first change you made? Like that first change might not be the right thing for you. I'm not saying it is or it isn't, because it's hard to know without looking at your diet and your lifestyle, but it could be, like absolutely could be. Mandy put, what is your biggest challenge now that you've lost the weight?
I think it's harder at the moment because I've got lockdown fatigue. And last time round, I didn't drink as much. This time, no, genuinely, I didn't. Like in lockdown, I didn't have to, I just wasn't in the zone for it. Whereas this time, I think, because you've got like lockdown fatigue, I think probably is the alcohol. So I kind of try and set myself, like, I try not to drink like Monday to Thursday. And whereas before, and this is the biggest thing my husband's actually noticed, whereas before I could easily like drink 3/4 of a bottle of wine, now I might drink a glass and a half. And I could drink more if I really wanted to, but I choose not to. And I think that's probably, I can see myself slipping back a little bit because of lockdown fatigue. But yeah, I just have to remind myself that, this is just a moment in time, this lockdown, and we'll come out of it soon. But that, yeah, I like alcohol, not in like I'm an alcoholic way. I just like, I like it. And so that probably is now just trying not to slip back into having more than a couple of glasses in the evening. So what I've chosen to do is I buy more expensive wine, and but then I enjoy that glass and a half, and it's more satisfying. So whereas before I might spend like, I don't know, £6, £7, £8 on a bottle of wine, now I might spend 15, and I buy one, and then that's it. So it's different things. And when I started on this journey, because I think I told you this, Adam, I used to buy the miniature bottles.
Yeah.
And that was really good for me. That really helped me, because my husband isn't a big drinker, so I hadn't, which is probably great because I didn't have anyone to share it with. But when you start helping yourself and putting like small tools in to help you, things like that were really good, like having those miniature bottles of wine. I think it's like a glass and a quarter, but that for me was, it was there if I wanted it. And then I used to have this thing that if I'd open a bottle of wine, within 2 days in my head it wouldn't be good, so I'd have to drink it because I'd be wasting it otherwise.
I just had to interrupt here. Mandy, after asking that question, has just put a woman after my own heart. So one thing as well for those that are watching, that you probably need to understand is that actually, as you lose weight, your appetite can increase. There's also something to be aware of called secondary gains. So this is typically where a lot of people get stuck, not just because of the diet approach, the traditional diet in diet clubs, and not them like kind of educating you along the way or giving you guidance and pointers. But one of the things to be aware of is as you lose weight, like you move from a place where you're really unhappy. So Sam's was like that picture. It was like, right, I've got to do something about this. And then you go along on your journey. And when you get part of the way there, you're not at your goal, but you're no longer where you were really unhappy. So you have this place where it's kind of like, well, I could make this choice, which is going to benefit my weight loss and my health and everything else. Or actually, there's secondary gains in not doing anything, in drinking, in being sat on the sofa, like, being sat on the sofa eating ice cream. It's warm, it's comfortable. The ice cream tastes good. There's a dopamine hit from that. So, it's not that straightforward as just going, oh, brilliant, here's the plan. Like, just eat this, don't eat this. Like there's lots of aspects to this to kind of be aware of. But, why does okay. So Anita, I'll answer that question in another week or two. I might even do one of my Monday live streams on maintenance. Okay. Like a Q&A or something. But essentially your appetite increases because of hormonal changes, and like there's essentially related to hormones. So as you lose weight, there's an impact to certain hormones within the body, but I can do a Q&A and answer that. It's not a stupid question at all, Anita. Sorry, there's a few questions coming through, Sam. So I'm going to wrap it up here, Sam. But the one thing that kind of wanted to finish with is you've now not had a coach, like you've not worked one-to-one with anyone for how long?
I don't know, 6 months.
It must be at least, mustn't it? Like 6 months. And you've maintained your weight since September, October. So like 4 months. So for anyone watching thinking, oh my God, like I've got to have this one-to-one coach, like I've got to work with someone, like a personal coaching, that's going to be expensive. I'm going to be doing this forever. Like, first of all, what would you say to them? And second, what would you say to those people who are still kind of sat on the fence, like, oh, should I don't know. Like, what would you say about those two things?
I think when you get to a certain age, you've got two choices in your life. Okay, you've looked after your kids, you've done all this. It's time to start looking after yourself. And I think we forget that we're role models for our children as well, for those of you that have got it. For me, I've got 2 girls. And I just was like, I'm not a good role model. So you can't put a value on that. That's probably the first thing. And the second thing is oh gosh, I used to spend more than on this, on shoes and handbags and things, and they didn't make me happy. And that's probably the thing, is that it's hard to quantify the value of what this is. I couldn't put a price on what this has given me, because there is no price. I've got everything I wanted, my happiness, the weight loss, the way I look. And so that feeling was worth every single penny. I mean, I couldn't even, and then some. So it's about how do you value yourself, and how do you value your happiness, and can you put a price on it? And I think the answer is no, you can't. And the feeling you get when you hit that goal weight, I cannot tell you. Or you get in a pair of size 10 jeans, and I got persuaded to try them on because I was like, that's ridiculous, I'm never going to fit in them. and I dance around the shop. I think I messaged Adam saying,
Yeah,
oh my God, you won't believe this. And I dance around the shop. And if you're in doubt, what I would say to you is the art team it is a family, it is a real community, and you won't fail because they won't let you, because they will give you all the tools you could possibly need to succeed, because that your success is their success. That it only works with the people that they work with, otherwise they wouldn't be as popular as they are. And I wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation with you on a Monday evening. And they want you to succeed. They will give you everything you need to succeed and all the tools that you need. And you have this amazing community of like-minded women that lift everybody up. There's no man left behind, quite frankly, because everyone celebrates each other's success and supports and nurtures when someone's had an off week, an off day, because it's going to happen. Let me tell you, this is not going to be your weight goes like this. I can remember Adam saying to me, it will go da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And if you get that and you're there, and your journey will be so different to someone else's, someone else will say, oh, I've lost 5 pounds, and someone will say, I've lost 1. And it doesn't matter, because we're all proud of each other and that success. And that's what you need. You need to be around people that are going to support you and nurture you, and celebrating your successes, and hold your hand when you've had a blip, because it is a blip, because everyone gets back on and everyone keeps going. And I think the big thing for me is you've got to be ready up here. You've got to have made that decision that you're ready to commit to it. And yeah, you might spend, I don't know, £20, £30 a week on a takeaway. You add that up over the couple of years, and how much money have you spent? And that's the way you look at it. I can't put a price on it, because I never thought that I would get to where I am. Not when I started. I think if I look back on that picture, I was so unhappy, and now I look at it, I'm quite happy for someone to take my picture. So yeah, it's hard for me to quantify it into a value, because I just can't. So thank you, Adam and the team, because it has been amazing.
Thank you very much for coming on, Sam. I really appreciate it. And
You're welcome.
irrespective of whether the women watching work with us or not, I genuinely think that you'll serve as a big inspiration to them. Like, I know you're inspirational to a lot of the women we're working with. So I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. Last thing before I go, if you have watched this tonight and you think, do you know what, now's the time, I need to go with this, and I need to do this, as I said, just comment me next in the comments. I'll send you a message, a private message, and we can start that conversation and potentially see if it'll work. But thanks again, Sam. Like, genuinely, really, really appreciate it. And obviously, always here for you. If there's anything that me or any of the coaches can do to help, please let us know. All right.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.